Up everybody? This preview of the World's 2026 XL temporary layout is brought to you by No Tooth Disc Golf. If you enjoyed this preview, liking and subscribing is the best way you can support the channel. Drop a comment for anything you liked or feel I could change in videos to come. No Tooth. First edition of the No Tooth drone, aka me walking down the fairway with a tripod. But this is the first hole of the layout. We got par 4, 520 feet, and these are in no specific order. This is the first hole of the blue course at Kensington. I'm going to be taking the hyzer route, just trying to land somewhere in the middle of the fairway past that big tree down there. I ended up throwing a hyzer. It was pretty good, had the height, had the distance, and we end up hitting right in the middle, hitting a tree. Probably would have been even more primo had we not hit the tree, but that's okay. We end up taking our zone here. We're kind of pinched off, so I'm just trying to get something up there, give ourselves a putt for a birdie on the first hole, which is what we do. And we end up giving ourselves probably like a 20, 25, 27 footer at most, which is perfect tester distance to see how the putt's feeling. And we connect, so we are 1 under par through 1. It's a great start, but we'll see what happens. This next hole is a huge dogleg left with a low ceiling, and it's a par 3, 366 feet. There's the basket perched down in that little corner, and I'm just going to be going cap wrap here, trying to push something. And the common mistake is actually going too straight, which pushes you long, and there's just a jungle long. As you can see, I'm not necessarily happy with where I landed, and we end up just hitting a tree on our approach shot. So we're just trying to get nice and close to the basket here so we can get up and down for our 4. This hole will do it to you, that's for sure. So we tap in for our 4, right back at even. All that hard work that we put in is gone, which is okay. Next up, we've got the third hole out of the 18-hole layout, which is playing as a par 5. Let me know what you think if this is a par 5 or not, but it's 773 feet. This is actually a combo hole, so we're combining holes 3 and 4 of the blue course. And you want to try and land basically somewhere short of the third hole basket. So I'm going cicada backhand here, just trying to push an ante line, which it holds great. We end up landing in a spot that we're pretty happy with until we get up there, which there's a tree right in our way basically. We would have been better off being left or right. And I tried throwing a forehand through this little tiny gap, and we end up nicking a tree. So I said, let's risk it for the biscuit here. This is a par 5. We can afford to go for it. And I just flick my cap wrap up there, and it almost goes in, actually. I thought it went in for a second. And as you can see, I'm saying it's this close, and there's the result right there. So we end up taking a birdie. Next up, we've got the 4th hole. It plays as a par 3, 349 feet. There's a ton of guardian trees at the basket, so you really want to have something push either on that inner part of the fairway, or you want to have something that has a lot of late fade to it. I'm going vulture here, just trying to push something as straight as possible and then get the fade at the end. And I actually turn it over a little too much, but I do get some tree love. So we are putting for a 2. And the putt right here, just barely off. We end up hitting band, and we card the par. First hole of the green course, and we've got a par 4, 619 feet. Very aesthetic hole, but it's also very long, so I wasn't actually able to get the no-tooth drone up there. I'm going to be going nuke here off the tee, just trying to get something to flip and land in the fairway, which we just didn't give it enough turn, so we're going to end up on that left side. There are lines, so we just got to hope that we get a line, which we actually are able to get one, and we end up going long for our putt for birdie, which we're lining it up right here. We want it, and we get it. So we are now 2 under par. Next hole is a combination between green 2 and 3. This is a par 5, 751 feet. As you can see, they carved out that basket right there, and what I just outlined was the fairway that you want to land in, and then this is the fairway playing to the next basket that we're actually playing to. So I end up thinking that I want to push something as far as possible while getting the fade of the hyzer. So I go forehand with the Nuke OS here, and we just barely clip that Twizzler of the tree. And we end up in a pretty decent spot nevertheless, but this line definitely got cut off a little bit. So I'm going forehand force here, trying to get it through the gap, which we do, but it ends up turning over a little too much. So we're going to be on that left side going to work to the sky. As you can see here, I have next to nothing on the ground, so we got to go looking up, which I throw an Athena up and down on the forehand. Wasn't a great shot. As you can see, I'm not happy with it, but it's okay because we give ourselves a chance to can a putt for Purdy here, and we end up just basically laying up essentially and picking up our par. On to the seventh hole of this layout. We got a par 3, 343 feet, and it's playing uphill, so you either want to throw a forehand that fades back to the basket or have a backhand that you push on that right side and then have it fade slightly left. I just decided to do the third option, which is chuck it into the hill because of the slope. As you can see, was not pleased with that shot, but that's okay. We got our zone here, just pitching up, giving ourselves a chance to make the putt for a par, which we do give ourselves that chance here. We're lining it up, going through our routine, treating this as a tournament round, and we drill it for the par, which is always nice. As you can see, I'm happy with that putt. We've got hole 8 out of 18 of the layout. It's a par 3, 301. It is essentially a slight dogleg left, and you're playing downhill. There are a ton of trees on this hole, as you can see. They greet you right off the tee pad. So I'm just going swarm here, just trying to prioritize getting through the gap, and then whatever happens after happens. As you can see, I'm okay with the result. And we get a little aggressive here, and it comes back to bite us here. We end up hitting the tree way too early, and this is our putt for the 3 here, which even I was surprised when it went in. I looked at the camera like, did that just happen? Well, it did, but I was just surprised. You know, even just trying to see how it happened, I have to give the basket a clank for that one. Next up, we've got hole 9 of the layout. It's a par 3, 338 feet. You're throwing downhill, and there is a low ceiling at this time, but that tree that's hanging is now cut, so now the line has opened up a little. I'm just going forehand with the cap wrap here. After playing this hole a few times in my lifetime, I've learned that it's probably just better to do a standstill and just throw something on Annie, because even getting a good line on the cap wrap, I was way long. Granted, I will take this putt every single time. It was a great line, just not enough height, and we end up taking our par. Next up, we've got a bruiser of a par 3 on this 10th hole of the layout, and these are in no particular order. We got 435 feet. It's par 3. You're basically, the tee shot is blind, so you're just trying to push something inside of that big tree on the right side of the fairway. You'll see it when we get farther down, but I'm going nuke here on a backhand, just trying to push the line, and this is probably the best throw we've had in all year, if anything, with this shot. So we end up pushing pretty far. We give ourselves an outside circle look here, just trying to drill the putt. We get a little excited here when we see this look, and well, that is not ideal. As you see, it rolls off the screen. It did not want to go in the basket, which is okay. You can kind of see me just going, yeah, I don't know how that happened, but it did. And so we're lining this putt up here now, just trying to stay to our routine, and it just wasn't there. I mean, the line was good, we just didn't give it enough height. It was kind of a scared bid for some reason. And we end up tapping in, making sure it goes in. After the dreaded birdogey there, we are playing the 11th hole of the layout. It's a par 5 combination hole. We're not playing to this basket right here, but we're actually playing to a basket ways away. It's 1,043 feet, which is a very long hole, and you're throwing up a hill on probably your third to fourth shot. So I'm just trying to blast something past this short basket, which we do pretty good actually. We don't go way past it, but we get considerably down there, and those arrows are basically where you want to land, and I clip a Twizzler right at the end. So we're trying to go turnover backhand here, just not accounting for that brush, and as you can see, I was a little frustrated, but nevertheless, had to take a tick check intermission, got to check for ticks. We end up going forehand here with the nuke, just trying to push something into the fairway, which we do really nicely there, so I'm happy with that shot. And then you just always got to get your distances. If you got a rangefinder, it's absolutely crucial. And now we're lining up a swarm forehand here, just trying to hug that left side and then finish right at the basket. There is a sloped green away from the basket, so you'll be putting uphill to a backstop, which is right where I'm at actually. So we're just trying to make this putt so we can get away with the bogey here. And that's exactly what we do, right in the heart. Next up, the 12th hole out of the 18 holes. We got a par 3, 419 feet for various reasons. It's a very tough shot because you are throwing downhill and there is a very low ceiling. So I'm just going something that I want to push straight and have it finish right towards the basket. And I thought this was going to be a great shot, but this hole is just a little longer than you think. As you can see, it's very brutal. So we end up lining up the Kratos shot here. We stop ourselves luckily because we had a little weird run up there. So we end up re-correcting here and butter right next to the basket. We're feeling nice after that shot. Little weird reaction off the ground, but we will take it. And so I'm lining this up here for our par, and we tap it in. Next up, we got hole 13 out of 18. It's a par 3, 345 feet. There is a guardian tree or two past the basket. You're just wanting to throw either a turnover that fades towards the basket at the end of the shot, or throw a forehand that just flies straight at those trees in the middle of the fairway and then fade towards the basket. Me, I do the third option, which is turn over my forehand, and we are in the jungle. I'm not happy with the shot, but that's okay because we go to work regardless. Lining up the forehand here, just trying to prioritize getting out the gap, and we low-key juice it, which is okay because I just wanted to make the gap. We have trust in our putt, and we're lining the putt up here for our par save. We end up canning it. I was not thinking it was going in. The Annie side, I had to shrug it off. Now this is one of 2 new holes that have been added. This is hole 14 of 18. It's a par 3, 432 feet. The basket location hasn't changed, but they have put in another tee pad, which adds another like 60 to 70 feet on the shot. So I'm just going forehand here, which as you can see, there's a post right in our line. Somebody was putting it back into the hole that was dug over and over again, which makes it nice and easy to hit the line here, but that's okay. We end up smacking a tree. I don't know if it got in my head a little bit, but it definitely looked like it. So I'm going cap wrap here, and I'm just trying to get something to fade towards the basket. And we actually overcorrect here, throw the forehand roller to some extent, and somehow we are on this right side. So we must have caught the edge and cut rolled back to the middle. Here I'm just trying to give it some kind of bid, and we just don't have the juice, but we lay it up for our bogey. So we are now 1 over throughout 14 holes. Next up, we've got hole 15. Now this is one of the only holes so far where it's just the normal hole because it is a difficult hole. It's 305 feet, par 3, huge dog leg left, and I'm just going forehand. It is realistically a forehand flex line here if you turn it on Annie, and I just gave it too much height, not enough Annie. We end up smacking one of the first available. As you can see, we've got quite the line here that we got to hit, which we do actually hit pretty well, but we end up ripping into it, so we're a little far. So I'm just trying to make the putt here to save the par, and we just airball. Just lining up this next putt, we're just trying to make sure it goes in, which is exactly what it does. So we are now 2 over going into the last 3 holes. Now this is a temporary layout, so a lot of these holes are going to be the same for now, but they are changing pin placements. This is a par 3, 343 feet, just making sure to check the distance before I rip my shot here. Going Athena, just trying to push something straight and maybe turn it, but I just go straight hyzer. There was no turn there, which is okay. We end up giving ourselves a putt here from about 55. And there are some Twizzlers here that you don't really think about until you hit them. And that's exactly what I did. So I end up being probably 10 feet at most from the basket for our tap in here for par, which right in the heart always feels good. Just got to do it. Next up, we've got hole 17, par 4, 558 feet. We wanted to see how the cart was rolling. Now this is a huge dogleg right. As you can see, there is a tunnel of trees on that inner part, so you really want to work around this pine tree past the short tee, which I'm going Nuke OS here, just trying to punch it past that tree, which is exactly what we do. This is one of my favorite holes on the course because you can just rip a hyzer forehand. So we end up going zone forehand here and get a surprising skip for how thick the grass is. This is our look for the birdie, and we line it up right in the center. It feels good to get one back there, especially going into the bruiser of this hole, which is the last hole of the layout. It's 695 feet, and it's playing as a par 5. Now, there was some holes that we're not necessarily sure if we were playing as a par 5, so let me know in the comments what you guys think if either of those holes are true par 5s. So this hole, you just want to throw something as straight as possible and finish by that pine tree down the fairway. I take the unconventional route, so to speak, by shanking my drive into this left rough, which is, it's brutal. As you can see, we're lining up the back door here, which I don't even know that it's there until we get there. So I throw the Nuke OS here, just trying to make sure to hit the gap. Don't really know where it's at until we find it about 20 minutes later. We end up going zone here just to push out, and you'll see we actually get really close to the basket there. So putting for a 4 here, trying to line it up here, and we're just left. We do hit chains, so we're on line. Got to putt it again because we know we can make it. And we tap in for our 5, finishing at 1 over. And oh, okay, I broke it down at light speed.